Welcome to Tuesday Tips. Today we are talking all about being empathic and what that means, and really how we can navigate the world, right? How we can navigate the world by being empathic. What is being an empath? What does that really mean, right? Empath. So the word empath, right, comes from the word empathy. And that really means the ability to understand the experiences and the feelings of others outside of our own perspective, right? So it's feelings, the emotions, like feeling empathetic for someone. Um, and it may be based on something that you have no experience over, but you can still feel how they're feeling. Um, but, and so while empathy is a good thing, the problem really lies when you begin to embody it both physically and energetically. Empaths can sense and feel emotions as if they're part of their own experience. In other words, so if someone else's anger or joy, it becomes that person's anger and joy. So, as being an empath, right, when I wander around, if I don't protect myself, I can feel other people's energy and feelings, right? And when you start to embody that, you have a hard time sometimes sensing which is yours and which is someone else's. So it's really important to be able to understand how you can navigate that and how you can work on protecting your own energy. Because again, while being empathetic is amazing, being an empath can be sometimes struggling for the people that have this amazing gift. So here's just a few things that empaths kind of struggle with. Um, they often struggle in relationships and intimacy. These overwhelming feelings, right, from being around a person for a very long time, or just it can really be almost suffocating for them. You can get sensory overload, especially if spending time with someone is stressful, right, or it induces anxiety. It's really important for to really set some clear boundaries in those relationships, and making sure that you have some time for yourself to clear your energy, because again, you can really struggle in relationships, creating relationships, maintaining intimacy, because of the being so open to other people's emotions and feelings and experiences. Um, Also, empaths are extremely intuitive. They pick up on various energetic cues from people, and they can show up, and it's like they're a human lie detector, right? Which can cause some conflicts in relationships, right? Because they're always sort of sensing, they're like, you're not telling me the truth. And it can kind of make them a little bit paranoid. So really being one, like understanding sort of that it is a superpower. It really is. But knowing when to sort of utilize it, and how to sort of really navigate relationships, and when to sort of say, "Hey, I know that that's not how you're really feeling," and instead sort of navigating the waters a little bit easier and with flow, because sometimes people don't want to share their innermost feelings, um, even though this empath can feel them and know that, right? So it's sometimes challenging for them to really sort of understand when to say something, when not to say something. Not only that, but like empaths struggle being in crowded spaces. As an empath, I hate crowds, hate them, right? And it's just, you get overwhelmed by everyone's emotions and energy when you go into a crowded space. Like, it's almost like you're feeling hundreds of people's emotions all at the same time. And it's incredibly overwhelming. It's a cacophony of noise, in not only your like emotional body, but your physical and energetic body as well. So sometimes they have a really hard time with crowded places. And I, for one, for a long time struggled with that. Um, Empaths can also struggle to be sensitive to not only emotions, but sounds and smells and other sensations. And these can trigger extreme emotional responses sometimes. So empaths can sometimes be overwhelmed. Like if so I have a son who's extremely empathic, and he's a sensory kid as well. And honestly, like feeling other people's emotions, but it's not only that, it's clothing. Like his clothes can't have tags in them. He won't wear jeans. Like he can only wear things super soft and comfortable. Otherwise, it bothers him, right? So you can have overwhelming sensations in, again, not only people's emotions, but you can be overwhelmed by smell, right? And by touch. So it's kind of a little bit crazy. Another way that empaths struggle, they don't like conflict, right? They don't want to hurt other people's feelings, excuse me, which can really prevent them from speaking up at all. Even the smallest disagreement can sometimes send people into like it's too much for them to handle. So they end up not saying anything at all, which of course blocks your throat chakra and creates a whole bunch of wealth of issues. They swallow some of their emotions and their voice because they don't want to hurt other people's feelings. So they have this it's hard to navigate, right, for them. And so it creates some issues sometimes with building and creating and sustaining relationships. And because of that, they can often be isolated. And not only because they have a hard time making, right? They feel sort of like a loner, like they don't fit in, but also because of all of the extreme sort of emotions and feelings that they receive in their energetic body, they just need to spend time alone, right? They feel more comfortable at home because of this, because of these beautiful, amazing gifts. So today's tip really, and actually before I get to the tip, if you feel like maybe you're an empath, leave me a comment. And hi to everybody who's watching. Leave me a tip. Let me know if you're an empath and what maybe you struggle with. Right? What do you struggle with? Because like I said, I hate crowds. Right. And it's really challenging when I want to go to a concert or a sporting event. I've learned ways to navigate this. I've learned how to protect myself and how I can handle these situations a little bit more, right? I still struggle with like conflict and some of that stuff, but I really have sort of definitely progressed because I know what works for me to maintain my own energy field. And that's the first biggest thing for empaths to understand and to really be able to do is protect your energy, right? And if anybody has ever listened to any of my meditations, if you're part of my class, part of my membership groups, like I talk about energy protection, and every single meditation, I surround myself in a shield of blue light. Every morning I do this meditation and I clear my chakras and I surround myself in a beautiful protective shield. And this shield, and I with intention explain exactly what I'm allowing into my energy field and what I'm allowing out of my energy field. And so I recommend that for empaths, you figure out some sort of way to intentionally and you visualize this as a protective barrier, whether you want to use for me, it's like a bubble of light. For other people, it's a cloak or it's a cape, it's a suit of armor, right? Whatever it is, it's about the intention because you own your energy field, right? You do, nobody else. So you get to claim it and you get to explain exactly what you're going to allow in. So for me, every morning I say, I am surrounded by a blue shield of light that allows only that energy and information for my highest and greatest good and the highest and greatest good of others to come through. And then I tell people what I'm going to radiate out, right? I'm radiating out love and kindness and joy and peace and harmony and whatever, right? Because that is important to me, right? So empaths, it's very important that they understand how to protect their energy. So not only that, but when they're around other people, figuring out what emotions are theirs versus other people's, right? And so being conscious and aware of going like, why am I so unhappy right now? When you're standing in the grocery line and when you came into the grocery store, you were happy, you were excited, right? Woohoo, you're going to the grocery store. And then you're standing in line and the person in front of you is angry or bitter or impatient. And all of a sudden you're feeling that way and you're like, what is happening? Why am I feeling this way? Being aware, right? Figuring out whose emotion is it? Is it my emotion or is it someone else's? Right. And then once you understand it's not yours, right, you can put that barrier up, right? And if you come home from being around people that are just overwhelming, you know, there's ways to clear your energy. Taking a Himalayan sea salt bath, right? Clearing your aura, right? Sage, crystals, right? Using selenite is an amazing crystal for clearing your energy. Um, doing chakra clearing meditations, all of these things, they help you to protect yourself and to clear your energy field. So, another great way that you can sort of, as an empath, bring your energy back into your body and clear anything that's not your own is getting grounded, right? Grounding yourself. So many empaths love being in nature. And the reason for that is because it brings their energy back down into the earth and into their body. And it helps them to reset their energy field, right? And again, gets them out of overwhelm. Grounding is amazing for everyone, by the way, everyone. So clearing your energy, like whenever you feel overwhelmed, whenever you feel distracted, lack of focus, whenever you're anxious, going outside and getting grounded, quickest way to reset your energy field. So not only that, but empaths, like honestly being more self-aware, just being aware of who you are and what you're feeling can help you really keep other people's emotions from seeping into yours. I also recommend setting clear boundaries, right? Because often we don't want, like, we end up allowing people to kind of walk all over us to take our energy. Energy vampires, it's a real thing. There's a reason why protection is very important for not just empaths, but everyone. Um, but really, set time limits, right? If you know you're going to go to go to a party, say I'm going to stay for an hour and then I'm going to go home and rest and recharge, right? It's very similar to sort of introverts, how they like need to like be alone in order to recharge their energy. It's very similar. Like you just need to be out of that experience to really sort of bring that energy back and refill your cup. Release all the emotions. That's the other thing, right? Don't shove them in. Don't, like, when you feel something, let it out, right? Cry, journal, laugh, whatever it is, like let it out. Because again, everybody who kind of has worked with me before, like your chakras, like they hold on to all this information. And when we swallow our words, when we swallow our emotions, they go inside our body and rot and create problems. We don't want that. And then also the last thing that I highly recommend for people who are empathic is carry around crystals, right? Crystals that absorb negative energy or help you stay grounded. Black tourmaline, obsidian, um, onyx. Those are all amazing crystals to really sort of help absorb any kind of negative energy. I have a giant crystal, a giant black tourmaline by my front door that doesn't allow anybody's negative energy to like come into my house, right? I have selenite over every single door with the intention that when someone walks through the door, it clears their energy field, right? Including my children and myself, right? And I really want to remind you that this is a superpower. It really is, right? And the more that you understand how to use this beautiful and amazing gift, the more you can protect yourself, setting clear boundaries, right? You can do some amazing things with this beautiful gift, and you can help a lot of people if you choose to do that. So, again, that was your Tip Tuesday.